This is going to be a quick video on like foreshortening with, we're going to do it with some cylinders. This is pretty fun to kind of figure out if you're not used to drawing cylinders. Cylinders is one of the big kind of forms that we use to draw a lot of things. So this is a very easy video, or very easy concept, I guess, to kind of practice over and over again until you get super good at it. So a lot of the times when we talk about cylinders, I kind of like to show cylinders from a side view and then from a top view to kind of understand. So from a side view, when we talk about a cylinder, we're obviously talking just about a rectangular object. And then from a top view, you're talking about a round object. You can have obviously squished different cylinders. They're kind of oblong, or you can have cylinders that do all kinds of things. But your basic cylinder is going to be rectangular from the side and then round from the top. And this is kind of where the foreshortening concept comes in. As the cylinder tilts towards us, it becomes less rectangular and it becomes more round. So one of the things to practice, and this is kind of the generic, I don't know if you want to call it an isometric cylinder that everybody kind of draws, and you have an ellipse at the top like this. And this is going to be your isometric or your generic cylinder. This is the thing that everybody sees in the math books, you know, and you might see, the liquid is filled up to this point and whatnot, things like this. So this is your generic cylinder. When you begin to bend that cylinder forward, what happens is kind of two cool things happen. One, your ellipse becomes a lot more like an oval. Okay, and then what also happens is your end, because it gets further away, it gets less wide, so it gets kind of narrow, like this, and then you have this rounded elliptical or oval type bottom, so like that. So as we tilt it towards, we kind of get this action happening here, and then to show you that same liquid concept in here, and there's that. So this would be like a drinking glass or something that's tilting towards somebody. You can do it to the side, is the same concept, but then you want to have your cylinder begin to slightly get smaller. So then your cylinder kind of tilts to the side like this. So once your cylinder tilts, your oval tilts as well, which some students, I should say, have a really difficult time with this concept, tilting it. This is kind of a one-point perspective concept where you've got a dot over here, and this is kind of the one-point perspective situation. But you should be able to, if you're practiced at illustrating or drawing, you should be able to really rip some of these out very quick without dropping it into a one-point perspective grid. And then again, I'll just probably add that. But really, if you were adding liquid to it, this is another interesting concept. So this is something that will begin to add realism to your images. Is if you do begin to tilt liquid like this, your liquid's actually going to stay at a level, horizontal level like this, and it may actually begin to even pour out of the cup depending on what the tilt is. So these are all practice, just little practice things that you could do. You can do fun things like where you bend a cylinder, which is a very common practice when you're talking about illustrating all kinds of things. So this would be like, probably wouldn't have that, but just to show you the ellipse in there, this would be sort of bent. So we bend things. This could work for like a forearm if you were drawing a forearm on somebody, or you were doing any kind of cylindrical type object and you were bending it. I always look at like a PVC pipe. Sort of like this. So this would be a bent kind of PVC pipe like this. So you'd be hollow down here, hollow in here, water falls through. All kinds of things that you can do. But the concept with the foreshortening is just right here. So